Thank you. I'm like Russell. They give me things to say, but it don't mean I'm going to say it, okay? Michael, good to have you here. Council, of course, Team Biloxi, our Keesler cousins, everybody. I'm excited to see so many smiling faces out there right now. Like Russell, I don't know what I'm going to say, but it's from the heart for sure. So it is truly exciting for me, and I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning. So, but it is a tremendous honor, you know, to lead our city and to lead a great team of council people and work with our board of supervisors, General Spraggins, the Development Commission, and our chambers. They do a tremendous job for getting the message out. But I couldn't have started the program even better about the things you see in Biloxi, the things you feel in Biloxi, and things you have a vision for in Biloxi. That's what it's all about. That's what drives me. So my wife says this job's going to kill her and not me. But I just can't tell you how much I enjoy the things that pop up, the things we have to address, and some good things and some bad things. There are always challenges, but that's what keeps me going. So, Cecilia, we ready to go? Breaking news. We talk about some breaking news. First thing, high on the list, been working at 5 years. This is almost like we did with the Division Street, the main gate. It was ongoing. It was year after year after year. We're not totally complete with the excitement yet. I think we're in court right now for some final numbers. But this is so important to the whole look and approach to the north-south corridor that we need. We've been needed, including a couple of new bridges. But this this extension from Pops Ferry across Pass Road all the way to Highway 90 will make us in a mode where that becomes a state road and enables our ability to get some serious money to do probably $400 million worth of bridges and infrastructure development and just develop a whole corridor, for defense access and hurricane evacuation, which we hope we never have to use. But we will. But, two exciting things related to that would be the ability to keep the bridge. I think you had in Gulfport, Calvin Lorraine Road, a closure at the Wilkes Bridge, another drawbridge for about 7 hours. I know if we had kept Pops Ferry Road for 7 hours, I think there'd have been a lynching, okay? And I'm not saying me and several other people around that table will be in that mode. But there's a $15 million project, I think, that will at least keep the bridge from opening and staying open or staying shut for both marine and, of course, the vehicular traffic. That's a little bit of where we are. And as we cross the railroad tracks, and that's been another adventure, working with CSX and with Amtrak and some of the things that you do when you make another crossing that at grade railroad crossing. It required a couple of things. We're going to build an underpass that connects both Coliseum parking lots. As this road crosses right to the west of the Coliseum, there'll be an underground, almost Disney World-like underpass that goes from the multi-level parking garage to the surface parking to the west side. And that's coming along pretty good. I think they're not over budget, they're under budget and on schedule with this right now. Another big thing that we finished our rookie season, right, Kenny, with the different youth baseball, softball. That's been very successful, but it is our first outing with this. I think we're very pleased with the things we've been able to accomplish. We're going to actually do some more soccer and football, but all those $6 million or so worth of improvements are well underway, and I think we're starting to see benefits from the activity. I think we've got a hotel in the last phases going very close to that, just because I think that the economic opportunity is apparent to the people who are looking to build things, and so that's we're right on the way with that. Of course, the Sanger, near and dear to us. I know how many recitals and how many events we've seen at the Sanger over my little lifetime, and I think we're a few carpets away from being finished with this, but certainly weeks, not months. But it's been an adventure with regard to some of the things you do, because it is an historic site, and Archives and History really has a lot of say on the color, the texture, the things that you can put back into place. But we're doing those things, and we're trying to upgrade, to use some of the technology in that building that's similar to what we have here as far as audiovisual and just whole impact of the things that technology brings to the table today. And again, of course, I think we have 17 parks around the city, and a big part of that is the equipments and the things that you have at each one of these things. So, the people who are close to it, and even the visitors. Again, we're in the throes of using technology, not AI, but just use of technology as people use these things. You can get on your iPhone or your phone, and you just say, hey, this is what we like, this is what we don't like. So we're investigating how we get the input from both residents and users of the parks or the equipment. And so we'll be able to at least analyze what works, what people are using, and their assessment of how fun and how entertaining and how useful it is as far as the equipment and investment we do in the park. Okay, sidewalks. David, this is we look tested this every Thursday morning. I meet with what's called the Wool Market Development Commission, or actually Wool Market Planning Commission. I said at an 8-foot Chevron table at the Chevron station on Wool Market in China. But they give me some input too, as you might, give me input like they do at the Simonian Lodge. Input, and I'm using that nicely too. But we do get some input, and but this has really been a used and impactful investment. But it's taken us 4 years to get there. So again, we've got some input from those folks that we needed in different places, and anything's possible given time and money. And we tell David and I both tell them we're working on it. Okay. And the old brick house, I don't know if many people have had the opportunity to look at it. It's a beautiful spot on the bay. Over the years, we had shrimp boats in its back, on its property, and had some. It's a very old house, the oldest around anyhow. But we're putting a number of improvements and things that would make it even more useful when it comes to renting it for special events and just the ability to celebrate the history and culture of what we have in this town. And of course we have a valuable tool. The coast is very fortunate to have Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, down here, and probably it's the best in the country in my estimation. Dr. Graham has been tremendous on this, the application of the different educational workforce training and technology and all those. We've done a lot of good things together. Keesler and cybersecurity and some of those things are all coming together because of this interest, at least to the Gulf Coast campus. It used to formerly Jeff Davis, but this interest is going to be a valuable tool in getting to and from those students and the ability to use that campus. That brings me to questions. Y'all are usually good when it comes to questions. I got my friend Roy Matina down here. He always comes with some good questions, so I put him close to us. But it's time for me to ask or answer anything you might have to ask. Hands. Have I forgotten anything, Adele?
Yeah, talk about the work going on Highway 90. Are we about done with that, with the lift stations and et cetera?
We're not about done with it. We got 2 more of the 14 phases. And again, we're practicing our pitch in D.C. regarding what we need to do. Of the 14 design areas of Katrina, $344 million Katrina, we got 2 left. After we finish this last segment, which would take us from the mall, Terry, from the mall all the way this way, that will be the last step. But we have 2 more from Rodenberg to the Holy Land. That's called Rod 9, and then something down here. But we've got some challenges with funding. So of the 14, we've done 12, and we've got some questions. Julie writing some questions to ask in D.C. about about another $100 million we need to receive from someplace. But that may be FEMA, maybe somewhere else. But anyway, that'll be the two conclusions. But I can't say it's not been bid. Those two have not been bid yet because of the, the funding situation. Let me say this about that. 2008, $344 million was estimated to do these 14 design areas and 14 projects. Again, you have to build anything by committee. There's 14 different design agents, so they estimated all this, and it's supposed to fit, right? Well, it was $344 million in 2008. Okay, we've had a couple of events since then: pandemic, inflation, everything else. We will have spent $330 million of that, and that's, when I took office, I think we had 55 miles of street torn up. But FEMA and working with these different folks never, there was something called a cost escalation format, which means it included an escalation factor. So when we took over the program management, we kept pressing and pressing and pressing. Well, bottom line, the rubber meets the road now. We don't have enough money to finish those last two projects. And FEMA admitted themselves that they did not use the cost escalating format, CEF. And we've got, documented. But our last task is to say, had that been involved from 2008, this project would have been probably $550 million. So we're holding the bag, so to speak. But we're going to have that meeting or another set of meetings next week to see what they want us to do, what they expect us to do. So there is a challenge. It's not all roses, but there's a challenge there. But we're in the probably as good a situation as we can. Hey, you didn't use it. You admitted you didn't use this escalation in your computation that should have been. So what do you expect us to do? Kenny, I think you had a question.
Give us an update on Amtrak. That's a big thing. So kind of talk about your...
Amtrak, it's an interesting, and again, if you've seen it, 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock, they come flying through here, and it's, for a few seconds. But I think on the 18th, I think service begins. And it's going to be exciting. I think the last test run we made, I had 100 pounds or so of crawfish on the train. I don't know if that's allowed this time, but I'm going to bring some crawfish the next time I get on it. But the Southern Rail Commission, Knox Ross, and they were excited. We had a press conference the other day, and we're in a mode that it's going to kick off. And I think, finally, I think Mobile has its stop ready, and we feel like, stopping in Bay St. Louis, Gulfport, Biloxi, and Pascagoula will be an exciting way to visit our area and open up a lot of things. The more activity coming from New Orleans in a graceful way, in a walkable way. That's what we're excited about. That it won't be a new train station, a new stop that will be constructed, but we'll have the ramp already ready to go for the 18th, the first run, and they have committed. Amtrak is committed to build a new facility right directly adjacent to or across the street from the multimodal center, the CTA building right there. So it's going to be really exciting there. Roy?
Mayor, what's the status of the RW development, the casino at the Highway 90 and Veterans?
Well, again, there's some court cases that have to be cleared, and
Repeat the question.
I'm sorry?
I want to repeat the question.
Oh, yeah, the status of the RW development at the foot of Veterans, and it includes a pier and that, but I think there's a court case it's in play right now. So, any other questions? Yes, ma'am. First question, as far as landscaping, and I think we paid attention to some of the trees that are existing. And of course, we want to make walkable and beautiful. That's always on our radar. And again, I think we talked about Vieux Marché. It's Howard Avenue. It's been Howard Avenue for so, well, we don't have a picture, but yeah, it's got to be, beautiful, friendly, and safe. So that's all on our radar. That's why we began this revitalization and the removal of some of the remnants of urban renewal. Almost 90% of the people who accepted that urban renewal money reversed it. And I think that's has taken place. And nothing is as fast as you want it to be, but we're moving in that direction. We want to have the ability to go from the point on Howard Avenue all the way to Porter Avenue and even beyond in a walkable fashion. That a lot of folks, if you're as old as some of us here, remember, and we trying to do that. But of course, oak trees, high on our radar, and I think there's even a picture of me hugging an oak tree one time. So anyway, any other questions? You asked me about Back Bay. Of course, that's the same thing on Back Bay. We did complete a number of years ago that boardwalk that covered some ugly, General Spraggins, we covered some ugly rocks, didn't we? But that's beautiful. It's about a $2.5 million boardwalk, and we're looking to extend that. We've already done some things with the bicycle trail along Bayview. All the way, we've got a tremendous drive when you look at that bay to circle the whole peninsula. And talking about even a little transportation loop where you can come down Bayview all the way to Oak Street and then come down Highway 90. So that's all on the radar. But anything's possible given time and money. And that's what we're trying to do, accelerate both of them. Any other questions? All right, baby. Well, y'all been great, and I'm appreciative of you coming out and just being with me and let me share some of my little stories and my excitement about this 326-year-old city we call and we love Biloxi. So thank y'all very much.